Good morning, New York City, and thank you. Last night we made history, and today we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition. This is the period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign, to make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves. As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda. People like deputy mayors who oversee entire areas of government, and the commissioners who carry out the critical work of city agencies. These appointments will be driven by excellence, integrity, and hunger to solve old problems with new solutions. Talking to organizers on the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world, and working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran and the city hall to come, defined by transparency. Because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust. On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day, and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com.
New York, I got bamboozled. New York got bamboozled. This is the guy that says he's going to do all these things for you guys, and now he's already asking you for money. He's not even in office yet. He's going to use your money to fund whatever he wants to fund. You really think he's going to give you all the things that you guys are asking for? It's crazy, though. I look at the numbers, man. He pulled in a strong support from the young voters. Captured 78% of the voters under 30. That's crazy. How did he do that, though? He promised them that you don't have to work hard and you can live good in New York. He also did well to the newcomers to NYC. 81% of those lived in the city less than 10 years. So he's not even popular amongst the true-bred New Yorkers. We know New Yorkers that's been there forever, their whole lives. They know that this has already been tried and true, and this doesn't work. You got to have order. You got to have money. You got to have capitalism for New York to be its best. New York is the financial capital of the world. So now you want to give everything free. This is why he wasn't as popular amongst the older voters. He wasn't. Amongst 65 plus, they weren't messing with him. You know, and he also it was crazy. He got some traction with the first time voters. You know, at the end of the day, what they call him is a socialist. A socialist is going to promise you everything. They're going to do these things and tell you that we're going to give you everything free. So what he was promising, what he's been promising, we'll see what happens, is free rents for rent-stabilized apartments. He plans to oppose a rent freeze for tenants in units under regulation. Build 200,000 new affordable housing units, free fare for city buses, universal child care, raise minimum wage to $30 an hour, and to have a city-run grocery store to control food prices. And then increase taxes on the wealth of corporations and create a Department of Community Safety. So basically, he's trying to take a little bit of money from the police and just create a safety program. He's trying to give you a free buses, free health care, free rent. He wants everything to be free. He wants you to give him your money, and then everything else will be free. That's not how this works. You need capitalism to make the city great. You need people wanting to have businesses there so you can get the taxes from the business so they could be able to employ people so people can actually work. Socialism never works. This is called socialism. I'm going to give you everything for free. You just got to give me everything, and I control everything. What you have to understand about socialism, the reason why it doesn't work is because you give it, and they take it anytime they want. If he wants to be in a certain direction of something, he just take it away from you because you're depending so much on him. You never want to. It's like this old saying. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. You never want to give your money to a government that's just gonna. You give them all your money and they're gonna do everything. They say they're gonna tax the rich and get the rich, but the rich, they know tax law. The rich can just leave New York. So when the rich and wealthy leave and they take their business with them, what's left? Who's left to tax? The people that's there, the young people, the people that's trying to work, the people that's trying to do things for themselves. They're gonna get taxed more. So when people say let's tax the rich, I never believe them because there's so much tax code, and actually the wealthy could just leave. They could pack up and go. And you got to understand that as far as business, and you can never tax the wealthy the way you want to tax them. The only way you could get the tax money from the wealthy is from their businesses and hoping that they pay enough people so you can tax the people. the way the system works, that's the reason why we have this tax code, bro. The tax code is always going to be in favor of the people making the money. And also, too, I believe it should reward the wealthy because look, if it's not easy building a business, we all know this. If you ever been an entrepreneur, how hard is it to scale a business to where you could pay thousands and thousands of people? So you want to punish me because I know how to work hard and I know how to build businesses? That's where we get things messed up. That's where socialism doesn't work because you want to punish the people that's actually working hard, but you want the people not working hard to get everything for free. That's ass backwards. That makes no sense. What does that teach our youth? You don't have to work because we're going to take care of you. That's the reason why it doesn't work. You know, you want to freeze the rents. You want to build new affordable housing units. Well, what money? You got to have money to be able to do these things. This is why capitalism is great. This is why, if they had a real mayor that came in there, that person should have been working with the people that owns all the properties. Hey, man, I need you guys to get these properties back online. What do we need to do? I would definitely say, being a landlord and stuff like that on my own, myself, the biggest thing that, reason why landlords don't buy a lot, especially in blue state ran cities or states, is because of the, eviction laws. I live in California. It would probably take you 6 months to a year to evict somebody if they don't pay rent. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way in New York. So how about we just say, let's have a faster eviction process? I think a lot more people will want to buy real estate because at the end of the day, man, if you're not paying your rent, I gotta let you go. I'm not in the business of owning units to take care of you. You see what I'm saying? So that's where we're gonna get everything else. But so I could tell you what's gonna happen. A lot of people are gonna leave New York. A lot of the wealthy, a lot of people that got common sense, they're gonna leave New York, go down to Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, somewhere red where it's more in favor of the wealthy, more in favor of corporations. They're gonna leave. So what's going to happen? You're going to have so much empty places, so much. And what's going to happen is they're going to open up the floodgates again for immigration. They're going to bring in a lot of people from different countries. They're going to be coming there living in New York. And New York is really going to be very different probably in the next couple of years. And with that, the money that New York does get, they're going to give it to them. They're going to give them the money instead of taking care, because, this falls in line with that. So if they come here, the people that come here from nothing, they get something, they're going to get all these things. There may be some parts of New York that he actually does this in, but the people are going to come here and take over New York. That's what everybody's thinking. Everybody's already thinking that because of what this is, the people are going to leave. So now you're going to have empty places to live. So what's going to happen? I think the biggest hurdle that he has, obviously we got President Trump. He's from New York. The governor said it's hard to support this and won't support this because of the budget. And also, too, another big hurdle is the people that own all the real estate. They don't have to rent it out. That's what they've been doing. They've just been keeping them empty. So what is he going to do? He's going to try to punish them. The people that own a real estate in New York have a lot of money. They're wealthy. They'll just keep it empty. They've been keeping it empty for years because of the laws for the tenants. So I think the biggest thing that when you have somebody come in there, you have to work with the people that have the properties and the money in New York. You got to come to the people that has the property to say, what do you need so we can start renting these apartments out? What do you need as far as, getting, tax incentives so you can rent for affordable housing units? New York got to give up something. That's how you got to approach those people with the properties. You got to say, look, man, we'll give you tax incentives if you could do, 20%, 25% of your buildings could be affordable housing. We'll give you tax credit to cover the difference. But you can't tax them so much to where they're not going to make money. These people own that real estate for years. It's not like they bought it today where it's sky high price. They've owned this for 20, 30, 40 years. So they're okay with just paying the tax and letting it sit. All of this is a tax write-off for them. But they want to make money, but they're not going to be stupid and be locked into something. And now they're going to have something. They're going to be taking care of people that don't want to work. That's the biggest thing I don't like about the socialist movement. This is the biggest thing I don't like about his movement. He's making it cool to not work. This America was built on, they say it's built on immigrants. But these immigrants and people that came here from all colors, all races worked hard. They worked hard. Everybody worked hard to be successful in America. So what is this movement that we're trying to have as far as I'll give you everything? I think when you look at the Democratic Party, they're so thirsty and they're willing to say anything to get some type of power. I'll give you whatever you want, just vote for me. But then when they get into office, they don't give them whatever they want. They become in control. This is what the Democrats constantly do. They promise. And then people would fall for it and vote for them. What's been happening is that it used to be the black community. We promise you this. We promise you this. We promise you this. Black will vote Democrat. Nothing happens. But with the Democrats, they changed their strategy. They targeting young people. They're targeting young people because they don't want to work. They targeting, the trans community, because they feel like people are so against them. So they targeting those people because they're like, we're on your side. This is the same playbook they did with the black people. They said, we're on your side. We're here to support you. We're going to help you. But then when they get in office, they don't. And this is what he's doing. But it's not even, just a Democrat. Now, you people say we have the far right. Now this is the far left. Now we have somebody who's going to tell you whatever you want just to get in office, and then he's going to play with the money. The biggest thing I don't like, I always feel like this. I feel like this should be a prerequisite for all the people that get into office. I feel like you should have some type of business degree. I'm tired of seeing these people get into politics and they know nothing about business. You don't know anything about a budget. Yes, you can hire a budget person, all that stuff, but I still feel like you need to know what a budget is. Because if you don't know what a budget is, you wouldn't be promising these things. You have people talking about the raise the minimum wage to $30 an hour. What companies are going to be there where they have to pay $30 an hour and then not make any money? That's not good business. That makes no sense. Building affordable housing units. It's expensive to build. So why would you do that? Free fare for city buses. You know how much it costs to have a bus driver that's probably on a pension, that's probably part of the union, maintaining equipment? That's money that has to be spent. So if they're not going to pay for it, who's going to pay for it? Also, too, it's even more dangerous for bus drivers now. Now it's going to be all type of people on there. It's going to be poor people and people that don't have any money that's just going to be, going crazy on the buses. It's just that this movement that you have from the Democrats is because they've been losing. So they're trying to figure out, and they found it. Promise the youth everything they want, and promise that transgenders and stuff like that will take care of you, will protect you. And this is how they won. But he's already asking for money. I'm already asking for money. He hasn't even gotten in there yet. He already knows that he can't do what he says. But you have to understand the playbook of this, what he's going to do. He's going to get in there. He maybe do 0.1% of what he said he's going to do. But what he's going to do, he's going to blame the governor. Oh, the governor didn't give me the funding. Oh, Trump didn't give me the funding. That's the reason why I couldn't do anything. It's because they held the funding from me to make things happen. That's going to be his campaign, how he runs his campaign to either be governor, either in the Senate, maybe one day be president. He's going to keep on saying every time he fails it's somebody else's fault. Because that's what they do. Oh, the reason why is because I finally got in there and I seen that, well, the governor controls most of the funding that I need, and she wouldn't give it to me. So as a Republican, if you're a Republican Party and you're looking at this is what the Democrats are going to do. They're going to promise, get in office and say they can't do it, and then they're going to blame the person above them that's a Republican. And then worst case scenario, they'll blame Trump. That's the magic word. If I can't succeed, if my person above me is a Democrat and above them is a Democrat, let's just blame the president because he's a Republican. This is the play. So we as people got to understand the play and really look at it and say, all right, what he's saying ain't realistic. That's what we have to do. We can't sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna chill for him, I'm gonna vote for him, but he's gonna make excuses the whole time. He's gonna keep blaming, keep pointing his finger at this person. He won't take accountability. There's not a lot of things that he's gonna be doing for the city of New York. And what it is, man, Republicans, we had Trump. Trump did a great thing. He was able to get the youth. If you're a Republican running, you have to get the youth. You have to make sure that you are appealing to the youth. We can't just appeal to the older crowd. You have to appeal to the younger crowd. You have to appeal to them and tell them, like, hey, if you work hard, it will pay off. We will make sure you will be able to have things and do things if you work hard. But right now, the Republicans are not appealing to the young people, and the young people are voting for people like this that's promising them anything. So the new demographic to target is the young, the youth, not just a race like it was just, okay, target the black people, we're going to win. Now you got to target a whole ass demographic, which is young people under 30, because they're the ones that's struggling. They're the ones that hasn't really been raised about hard work. They've been raised about living with their parents, trying to figure it out, being on TikTok, Instagram. That's how they've been raised. So they don't know what hard work is. They don't know what, really what it is to struggle. But what they see is if you're going to give me everything for doing nothing, they're going to vote for that person because they don't really want to do anything as far as working all the time. Like, when we grow up and people before us, our generation before, they were proud to have a job. They were proud to work for their money. This new generation is different. This new generation is kind of like, you know what? I'm cool if you just give me some food, a little free apartment, a little bit of money. I'm cool with that life. I don't want to better myself. But with that comes, that makes it a point of you are tearing down the mentality of the American people. So with that mentality for American people, making them so dependent on the government, that's why it's easy for the immigration and people, immigrants to come over. It's because they come here and work hard. So they are defeating us because our generation coming up doesn't believe in working hard because the government's telling you you don't have to work hard. We'll give you everything. So this is why socialism messes up every country, and that's why they always get ran over by people coming in. Is because the people coming in is like, oh, ain't no competition. I'm here for the taking. I'm here for just you ain't working. I gotta take that job. I'll get that money. I'll take that job, get that money, take that job, get that money, and I'll put somebody in office now that's in favor of me and not in favor of you, and I'll beat you. See what I'm saying? So you got to understand when you looking at that's why they talk about socialism, and you really got to do your research. It's just like it's yes, it's an economic problem because if you got people in the government that don't know how to handle money, now you're in a situation where you're going to go bankrupt. Look at Greece. That's a big example. Socialism, Marxism, they go bankrupt because you got people in the office that never ran a business. This is why Trump is so great for America, is because he ran businesses. He understands the budget. He understands we need to cut here. We need to cut here. He understands the art of the deal. He understands, hey, I got this over here. You want this? I'll give you this, but I need 1, 2, 3, and 4. This guy has never done that. So now you want him in charge of your money? That's tough. That's a tough thing where we're looking at like, I don't know if that doesn't make sense to me. It's just like you have an investment account. Would you give it to somebody that's never did investing? No. That's the same play, right? If I have an investment account, I wouldn't give my money to the same person that never did investing. I would give it to somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. This is how we got to think about politics. Has this person know how to run a budget? Does this person ever be in business? This is why you can't be upset about people that are Republicans that used to have businesses because they know how to run a budget. They know how to control spending. But then you get people in office, especially on the left side, I hate to say it, they've never ran a business. If you ever look at people on the left, look at where they started to where they at now. They started with no money, and then when they got out of politics, they're millionaire and billionaires. It's because they finally linked up with the people that makes the money and understands how to make money. But they didn't have money before. There's a good amount of Republicans that you could look at and say, man, they had money before and they have money after because they know how to run a business. So if you got to look at the country, it's not about shaking hands, kissing babies, getting everybody free food. It's about running the country like a business, running your city like a business, running your state like a business, running your district like a business. How are you going to control the spending? What is your plan? What are you doing? How are you funding these things? He's just telling you he's going to give you everything free, 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 free. How are you going to do it? We're going to tax the rich. Well, you tax the rich and they won't be there. What's going to happen now? So now you have somebody like this. He's not even in office yet. He's already asking for money. I just feel like young New Yorkers got bamboozled. I feel like this experiment won't work long. I feel like the greatest place for this to work is New York because you got the most outspoken people in New York. So we'll definitely see how bad this is going to go and how quick because the wealthy's going to lose. The wealthy's not going to lose. The wealthy's going to leave. They're going to leave California and just let it burn and die. And then they're going to have the people that own the property just not going to rent it out. And what are you going to do? You can't do anything. So it sounds good. The young people got fooled. I'm hoping that they wake up and we just have to get the America back to making it great again. The reason why it was great again is because everybody worked. Everybody wanted to work. We can't reward people being lazy and not wanting to work. But I hate to say it, man, New York, you got bamboozled. And I just pray for you guys in the next, for the whatever years his terms is. Seriously.